Hey everybody, David here. That's right. The now shaved Digital Dungeon Master. It's kind of got a ring to it. But anyway, hey everybody. It's been a couple of months since I've talked to everybody. And I've got a lot to talk about, of course, like every update. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for 21,000 subscribers to the YouTube channel. Just keeps growing and growing and growing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and keep watching those videos. I also would like to thank everybody for all of the messages that I've got on Facebook, on Twitter, through my contact button about my mother. She's been going through some problems since she's moved to El Paso. The poor woman has been in the hospital a couple of times. Actually, she's been to the emergency room 4 times and been admitted once for the weekend. So that's been pretty rough for her. She's doing a lot better now. It's really kind of thrown my world upside down having her here. I didn't expect that she would be in the shape that she was in. She was in much better shape when I left Florida in January when I moved to Texas. So she has declined. But the doctors here are really good. And she's actually doing quite a bit better now. So thanks a lot, everybody, for all of your nice words and all that good stuff. So thank you. Next, the major thing that's going on this month is the giveaway extravaganza. This is my 5th and final giveaway extravaganza, and it has grown so much over the 5 years. I really appreciate the 13 sponsors that I have now. I mean, I have 13 sponsors. I cannot believe it. I mean, I've got Wizards of the Coast. I've got Paizo. I've got Adventure a Week Games. I've got Pinnacle Entertainment Group with Savage Worlds. We've got Arcani as a workshop. We've got Legendary Games. We've got Devon Knight. And also Dungeon Arts with Greg Taylor. Dungeon Arts and Devon Knight are the original sponsors of the show, and they've been with me for all 5 of the giveaway extravaganzas. And Devin and Greg, I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are awesome, and thank you guys for believing in me and taking a chance. I totally appreciate it. I've also got Zovia, she's sponsoring, Rob Toohey, Kobold Press, Limitless Adventures, Fantasy Grounds, thanks to my boss, Doug. He's also been involved for the last 3 years. And it's been, like I said, it's just grown and grown and grown. And this last giveaway extravaganza is going to be going out on a high note with a bunch of cool stuff. I've got 2 pages of items to give away. So you must be there to win, so I don't want to get any emails saying, hey, Dave, put me on the list so I can win something. Now, I can't do that. It's not fair to the others who are there. And the time is going to be 10 p.m. Mountain Time, which is going to be midnight Eastern Time. So, I have changed time zones, and I've got a previous engagement. I would have done it sooner on Christmas Eve, but I've been invited to a party for one of my players that I have around the table, and I'll be going over to his house and meeting his family and stuff like that, and celebrating Christmas Mexican style. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. So you got to be there. It's going to be, like I said, midnight Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Pacific. A couple of other things. A lot of people have been asking, why are you not doing these anymore? It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, the problem is shipping. And, I try not to charge shipping. A couple of years ago, I tried to charge shipping on physical products, and because it usually costs about anywhere between $500 to $700 out of my pocket to ship all of this stuff. If I get a book to Australia, it's $50. If I get something to Scotland or Ireland, it's $40. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing away with the extravaganza. Shipping is just way too crazy. And each year there's just more and more sponsors getting on, and it's just going to start costing more and more. So this year, the last one, I will ship within the United States, and if any of the viewers are overseas winners, then I've got plenty of digital products that I'll be able to give you from the new Swade, as the Wild Die podcast calls it, the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, the new one that just was kickstarted. I've got some of those that the overseas viewers can have. I've got some stuff from Kobold Press. I've got all kinds of digital stuff. Unless you're willing to pay for shipping, I just don't want to have that, probably $700-800 bill this year because of all of the new sponsors and prizes and stuff. So, but I do appreciate all of the sponsors. I really do. You guys are awesome, and it's been a hell of a 5-year ride. Being on Twitch and YouTube and all that other good stuff. So the party will continue. But there will be no more giveaway extravaganzas on the Twitch channel going forward in 2019. But it's been fun doing them. It's actually it's been super fun. So thank you again, and hopefully I'll see you guys on Christmas Eve at 10 p.m. Mountain. So be there or be square. So if you are one of my the only other thing that I'm going to talk about, just a couple things. This month's Digital Dungeon Master Vodcast is going to be next Sunday, I believe, on the 16th. And that is my special guests are going to be the Wild Die podcast. They are a Savage Worlds a group of guys that love Savage Worlds. I've really enjoyed getting to know them, and they're great guys, and man, they're funny as hell. So there's Eric, there's Gary, and then there's also Harrison, and we'll be recording Sunday the 16th. We'll be recording, and I'll be releasing that later on in the afternoon after everything has, been edited and rendered and all that other stuff. The other major thing that I've got going on is, you guys know that I do the monthly Masters of the Dungeon with, I'm on the channel, Arvin Elrond's channel. And it's been really fun getting to know, when we had Will from Encounter Roleplay on. Will has taken a break for quite a few months now, and Askren. So those guys are awesome. We usually have a special guest on every month, and that is going to be on Saturday, December 29th, towards the end of the month, and it will be from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 to 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So be there for the Masters of the Dungeon stream. I don't know the topic for this month's stream yet, but I'm sure we'll have a guest, and also we'll talk all kinds of DMing stuff. So that's going to be fun. Now, for my patrons, I've overhauled yet again. Hopefully, I won't have to overhaul my patron page for a long time. First off, I've gotten rid of the gold leaderboard system. This is the last time we're doing it. There's just not enough involvement with the community. But I do appreciate everybody that was being active with it, with the dueling, the gambling and stuff. So I'm going to be doing away with that in 2019. And plus, that was supposed to be something that I put together and talked about being community driven. And, last time when I did the top 10, that cost a lot. I'm trying to pay for everything through Digital Dungeon Master, through Patreon, and also through YouTube. And, there's no money in YouTube. Not for the amount of views that I get. So between that and Patreon and the Twitch subscribers, I'm trying to, take care of giveaways and also, I had Furied Fate that was with me for social media, but with the nerfings of the YouTube, all of the monetary involvement with that, I've actually had to let her go after 4 months, and it really sucks. She did such a great job, but I'm trying to pay for everything through Digital Dungeon Master, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're making millions of dollars." No, I lose money every month, which I'm trying not to do. So with some changes and stuff, I think everything should get a little bit better for 2019. You know, this is a part-time hobby that I have. You know, I did it full-time for a couple of years, but ever since I went on with Fantasy Grounds, you know, that's my full-time job. That's where most of my time is. And, you know, everything that I do with Digital Dungeon Master, you know, I try to pay for all the giveaways, everything through Digital Dungeon Master. So, but no, guys, I'm not making millions of dollars like some people say on YouTube comments. I wish, but no, that's not happening at all. So, I've got some patron changes, and I've taken, like I said, I've taken the gold stipend off. I've done away with the Digital Dungeon Master Compendium, because all of the content that I was creating for that was done 25 times over on the DM's Guild. And I'm not going to do, you know, I've had a Crazy Kobolds PDF for probably a couple of years now. And I look on the DM's Guild and there's like 50,000 Crazy Kobolds. And I'm like, there's just no point for me doing this. It's just 5e DM's Guild has just saturated the market with content, which is a good thing. I mean, it gives, you know, authors a chance to showcase what they can do and etc. But I think with what I've transitioned to is going to be much better. And to go into that, I have actually changed a lot of the goals. I've lowered the goals, and I've also changed a lot of the pledge levels to where there will be tangible things that you can download every single month at the $1 and up pledge. So to talk about that a little bit, the Patreon page is really what I'm going to start focusing on in 2019. You guys know that I've been wanting to create content for a long time, and I've now started to do that. So November, I invested quite a lot of money into commercial license assets. Commercial licenses for art and assets. So I have thousands of images of art that I can use now. I have I've got about 20,000 assets that I can make maps. I can make fantasy content. I'll be able to make modern day content, sci-fi content. And if you're one of my patrons, you'll notice that I've already put out quite a bit of content since the end of November. So November, I put out my first fantasy map. And then I did a bonus map for November, which was a modern day, like 4-way intersection with a bunch of old rusty cars. And so it's been fun making those maps. This year this month in December, I put out my Fantasy Map 2, which was like a stable. And I also had a bonus map just come out yesterday for sci-fi, and it is a hangar. So there's a ship and entry points into this hangar bay. And I really like the way the maps have turned out. I'm trying to do night and day versions where they apply. And to talk about these maps, they're 2,000 by 2,000 pixels. And they're going to be lined up for, you know, you can use them for any VTT. Each grid square is 100 by 100 pixels. And, you know, as a consumer, before I started making maps and putting them out, it would irk the crap out of me when I would get maps that I would not be able to put a grid to make it line up, you know, perfect on the first shot. There's a lot of reasons why that could happen. If you're pulling them off of a PDF, they're always, you know, put on a PDF to fit on there. So of course, when the image is resized, that'll mess up the grid. I don't like it when halls and corners are off of the grid and you know, are on half grids and all that. And when I went into these battle maps, I wanted to achieve a couple of things. The first thing I wanted to do is the cleanliness of the map and the ease of use to put a grid on it, whether you're on Fantasy Grounds or Roll20 or whatever you're using. So that was definitely achieved. And I wanted all of the assets to line up perfectly within grids. So if it's a campsite, obviously it's not going to be a 3x3 size pit unless it's like a bonfire. So everything matches, everything lines up nicely. Like I said, I've got day and night versions where they apply. And the other thing that I wanted to accomplish with the battle maps was I wanted these maps aren't going to be huge dungeons. Like I said, they're 2,000 by 2,000 pixels, which is still a pretty good size map. But I just want specific locations. Like I did a campsite day and night version. I did a hangar from a ship. I didn't do the whole ship. I just did a hangar, because if you have an encounter hangar, there it is. I did the modern day map, just a 4-way intersection. So I'm going to do more stuff like that, just area specific stuff, like maybe a witch's cave, or like a rope bridge going across a huge, where you're going across like a gully or something like that. And I'll try to do as best as I can with the shadowing and all that stuff. So I'm not an artist, and that's why I invested into all this commercial art, is so I can make this stuff. So, at the $1 Nut Pledge, you'll get a map every month. And for the next couple of months, to make up for the digital Dungeon Master that I was not doing, transitioning to finding assets, etc., I've went ahead and I'm doing bonus maps for November, December, and also January. So not only will you get the standard fantasy map, but you'll also get something sci-fi or modern day related. Now, my $5 and up Pledge members will get a second map every month. That's not even included as the bonus map. So you'll be getting something else fantasy related or sci-fi. But usually, if I put out sci-fi or modern day, it will be the base map for the $1 Nut Pledge. But the $5 Nut Pledge levels will usually always get at least 2 maps. So you'll get the base map, and then you'll get another map. So to move on with that, I'm also at the $5 Nut Pledge level. I am also doing content, and I've got tons of books that I've been writing content in for years, since I was a kid. And a lot of this stuff I can't even read. I have to look at it and look at it and look at it, because when I was younger, my writing was just absolutely it was horrendous. And I used to write it and abbreviate everything, because I would just write so quick. So I'm looking at this stuff going, holy shit, what am I trying to say here? But then after rereading it and looking at it, then, it starts to click, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I remember doing that. So I've got, a bunch of books. I've got, just to pull a couple books out of my drawer, I've got about 20 of these composition books that are just absolutely full of, pages falling out everywhere. Just the stuff where I would just write stuff down and just put it in books. And I would like hand draw maps and stuff like that. And, even though I'm not an artist, I would do as best as I can. And I would do like little stick figure sketches, and I would draw what items. And those are going to be notes that are going to be going to my patrons as well, because if you're at a certain pledge level, you will get show notes, or you'll get, my notes that I've taken since I was a kid. And then I usually write a little bit in there and highlight it on what this page of notes is about. So, but yeah, there's more, tangible things that you can actually download and receive in the mail now. So, I'm also at the $5 Nut Pledge level, like I was talking about. You're also going to get a PDF download every month, which is another thing that's going to be replacing the digital Dungeon Master Compendium. But it's the world that I want to create, and for now, it's going to be in D&D 5th edition. But I am envisioning converting this stuff to where it applies. I'll convert it, like the modern day stuff, I'll convert to Savage Worlds, and the sci-fi stuff I will do in 5e, but I'll also convert that to like a Starfinder. But the modern day and the sci-fi stuff will pretty much just be like one-shot adventures, or maybe a continuation where you'll see one part 1 month, and then a couple months later you'll, and these will probably be like bonus adventures, because I want to keep the majority of the players are, and also the players in the genre, the RPG genre, they're all fantasy players. So there will be fantasy content every single month, fantasy maps to download, and I'm going to be putting out adventures. And all of these adventures are going to go in my world. So it's not going to be like, plug and play. Well, it will be. I mean, you can take anything that I'm going to create and plug it into your world anywhere. But, I'm starting with my first, basically it's a regional guide. It's called The Veil. I'm calling this the placeholder name for it right now, The Veil. And The Veil is all of the regional guides are going to be 250 by 250 miles. So 250 north-south, 250 miles east and west. And you're going to get a really nice detailed map of the region. There will be all kinds of locations. Each regional guide will, even though the PDFs are supposed to be 1 to 2 pages, regional guides are going to be huge, because the way that I've got the map, it's going to be broken down into regions on the map, and I'm going to talk about every single region. And then in subsequent downloads in the PDFs, you're going to get another gazetteer just on that specific region. So and then it's going to, label it'll have all the regions, the main players, any NPC stat blocks that are needed, any kind of magic items that are going to be in these places. It'll have story, it'll have towns, it'll have maps for the towns, it'll have fully fleshed out towns to where you can use this in any game, and there will be small villages, there will be larger cities, there will be capital cities. And this is something that I want everything to mesh. So all of my adventures, you're going to say, oh, wow, this adventure takes place here on this regional map. And I'm hoping to fully flesh out 2 regions a year. So hopefully by around July or so, I'll be starting on my second region. And the region maps will be put together as I put more content out, more regional guides. The world map will just get bigger and bigger. And, that's what I want, because I want to start taking all of this stuff and, all of these weird ideas that I've had since a kid up to, my adult life, current day. I want to put all this stuff and start, putting it on PDFs and stuff. And they're going to look nice. It's not going to be just a Word document. I don't want to do that. I've invested a lot of money into art and stuff. So there's going to be art for cities. There's going to be art for NPCs. Any of the adventures that I put out, you will get a map, and that map will not count towards the monthly map that you're going to get or a bonus map. And if there are monsters that are involved or NPCs that are have anything to do with this adventure, you'll also get tokens. So not only will you get the map, you'll also get tokens. I've got 1,000 tokens or so that are commercial licensed, so I'll be able to put that in with the maps and bundle it up into a PDF and a map and also tokens. So I think that'll be nice. I think you guys will like that. And and my goal is to make this look really nice. And I like I said, I just don't want a Word document with hand-drawn maps, black and white hand-drawn maps. I do not want that. And that's why I've invested a pretty substantial chunk of change on a bunch of commercial licenses so I can provide that for you guys. So I think you guys will like it. I'm going to try to get the regional guide out, but there's so much work with the regional guide. And plus I'm learning Campaign Cartographer as well. So not only am I using Scribus to create the PDFs, so I'm learning that. I'm also using Krita for creating all of the maps, the battle maps and stuff. And all of my regional maps are going to be done with Campaign Cartographer. So I'm learning three pieces of software, learning how to make PDFs. So I will definitely have an adventure out. In fact, I've already got 2 or 3 maps out for December already, and I've got one more fantasy map that's coming out for the $5 and up pledge level members. But I will have at least one adventure this month. It'll be I want to tell you about it, but I can't. And and my content isn't just going to be just 2 orcs, versus 3 orcs. Or I want puzzles. I'm going to involve terrain in my encounters. I'm going to have challenge. I'm a huge 4th edition fan, and I always like the challenges that they did with the group challenges from 4th edition. So I'm going to be putting those in 5e as well. And then plus any, like I said, any modern day sci-fi, that'll be bonus stuff, and that'll be 5e as well. And I'll explain, how I envision this with a 5e type of mechanic system. So I'm really looking forward to doing this stuff. And with now that things have really calmed down and settled down, I'm really looking forward to. I've already dived in, so I've really had a good time making maps and stuff. So, but yeah, that's. I'm going to be really concentrating on Patreon next year. At the moment, right now, my 2 games on Friday and Saturdays. My Friday, we just wrapped up Tomb of Horrors. That was a great finale. I screwed up and deleted the video on accident at about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So we got together and discussed the finale and kind of had a reflection on it. So I think that was pretty cool. And I think I might do that with all of the finales now. At the end of the game, I may get the players together and we may get together and talk for about 20-30 minutes and kind of reflect back on that campaign. So you can check that out. My Saturday group, Waterdeep Dragon Heist. We're on hiatus till 2019. That game is off to a great start. The players have done such a great job. They're in Chapter 2 right now, Troll Skull Manor. So they're going to learn all about their new humble abode and their neighbors and everything else. So we'll be back to that game in 2019. We're going to play one more time. We're going to play Friday. We're going to play Undermountain again, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Then we'll take the rest of the year off. That's going to allow me to learn these programs and get my act together. It's been a pretty bad year. 2018 was for running my games and stuff. There's a lot of games where I had to cancel because of being sick or because of this or that, and I'm hoping 2019 will be a much better year in it, and I'm sure it probably will. So, I appreciate all my players. They've done such a great job, and I appreciate their patience with me, and I've got the best players out there. So that's going to be it for me until January. I'll put out another video. So don't forget, be there Christmas Eve if you want to try to win some swag. I've got lots of stuff to give away. Check out my Patreon page, guys. The link is down below. And if you want to, start downloading content and start getting maps, digital maps and stuff, sign up for the Patreon page. And everybody have a great holiday. If I don't see you on Christmas Eve, have a great and safe holiday. So everybody, have a good one. I'll see you next year, literally. And until next time, happy gaming and keep using Fantasy Grounds. Bye, everybody.